It's with your name, address, phone number, email.
Just in case.
Please, anybody have cookies? Please, thank you.
Here we have one.
How's it going, Kenny?
Good. Doing good. Yep.
I know I was able to order water jack and
I haven't seen it. I we ought to get
Started 9 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah, try to pick up off of the cigar butt off the street.
Cannon. His last name was Cannon.
Yeah.
there's a sandwich setting up there on the plate.
All right.
But I don't know what else you'd like.
Okay.
I cannot drink black coffee yet.
Maybe no. You gotta cut out. This is for coloring. One carry knife, all vegetables, meat, sandwiches on the round. One carry knife, all vegetables.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under, indivisible, under God, with liberty and justice for all. That's the way we started our classes when we were in the early part of school.
So the new change is going to be, let me think, 2 bits, 4 bits, 6 bits, all for the class of 56. Stand up and howl. And then you can holler anything you want. Okay, let's do it. 2 bits, 4 bits, 6 bits, and holler. All for the class of 56. All right.
And those of you that didn't stand up and holler, can you raise a cane or your right arm, please?
Wayland, go with Wayland, go with WHS. Fight the finish, Wayland High School.
On to victory! Rah, rah, rah! Fight with vigor, fight with vigor. We're all for you, team. Here's to our high school colors, white and green. This is kind of a little personal thing from my standpoint. As I look out at you, we all came from diversified homes. we had some of you students that were lucky enough and you lived in Leave It to Beaver homes with moms and dads. And the good life, so to speak. We had 3 or 4 of our students that lived in either grandparents' homes or out of their own home. We also were a class that lost one of our classmates in 1952 to leukemia, Carol Hoeksma. And that was a factor that allowed us to realize that, yes, there is death. And from that point forward, I'm going to do a little personal story of my life. Not because I want anybody to feel sorry for me, but we all fall short of the glory of God. My father died when I was 4. And my siblings and I were kind of parentless until we were 8 years old, when my mother elected to marry an alcoholic. And I was abused. He beat her a lot. One of the memories that stands with me is my brother taking a ball bat and beating him down the stairs because he was beating on my mother. And when my stepdad's father killed his wife, my mother knew that she had to get out of that situation. And it wasn't good. It wasn't good for me. And my second stepfather, things happened with my brother Mike that left him virtually for 40 years in and out of prisons and correction systems. And it was hard for me to handle. But you know what? There's one thing about it in my life that I was blessed with. First of all, I was blessed with loving grandmothers. I had a mother that did the best she could with what she had. And I had a school that I could go to and a church that was my place to go where we could be happy and at peace. And in my senior year of high school, I paid $7 a week board and room and lived at the Shoes House and worked at the restaurant and ate my meals there. And I managed to get a half a semester in at Western Michigan College. And got married, because if you weren't married by the time you was 21 back then, there was something wrong with you. So, was married for about 20 years, and we were doing very well. 1 1/3 businesses, considerable land, several vehicles. Life was on the good side. But all of a sudden, my life got turned upside down. I ended up on welfare. And long story short, I worked 3 jobs for 5 years, was able to get my daughter through college and keep her in the school and in the church. And God has always been with me. He's never forsaken me, even though I've fell short of His glory many times, which we all do. But I want you to know that those of you that grew up in a home with a mom and a dad were so blessed. And I can remember going to some of your homes and thinking, boy, they don't really know how good they've got it. We had one classmate that committed suicide, which I'm sure none of you are aware of. Wanda Jensen. Oh, she didn't commit suicide, she was murdered.
Wanda got shot.
Yes, and her husband never really did that much time because, so it just goes to show you that we are all blessed. If we can just remember we're not alone. That God is there, and He never forsakes us, and He's always with us. And we're all at a point right now where the clock is really ticking. So, I want to thank Ken Rich for volunteering to come in and tape this, because we have students that are out of the area or that weren't physically able to come today, and if their grandkids want to set it up on YouTube, they're able to see what's happening. So that's why he's here. And off the record, we also have one other thing. You know, Harry Hudson really had a way with the teachers. And I understand that in Miss Burchett's class one day, he said to her, you know, there you go, you got him, Ken. Someone let the dogs out at my house and I need to go put them back in. And so she let him go. My question is, who let the dogs out, Harry?
He wasn't one of my favorite teachers.
They wrote a song about that, didn't they?
Yes, but they didn't mention Harry's name. If you'd like to stand, we're going to give you a certificate of retirement. It grants that you can relax on weekends, weekdays, or any day from the class of 1956, July 31st, 2021, and I hereby proclaim he's earned it. And there's a picture over there with, I think, 3 or 4 girls and Ernie. You want to give it to him? No. Give Ernie a hand for all the years he held that class together.
Picture of Harry and Mary and Babe and me, hallway, we were freshmen.
We look just like we did then.
Yep.
We had one of our students had COVID, and they were out of state when they had it, and I believe you were on a ventilator, correct, Rochelle? Weren't you on a ventilator when you had COVID? And we're very blessed to have her miraculously here with us. So we're going to present her with a Survivor Award. Is how many remember the FFA game dinner? Anybody besides myself and Ray? I'm giving him this certificate. Lucille Mudgett told me that that's where she met Ed Young, was at the FFA game dinner. They had it every year when we were in high school. I didn't get it in a frame, but there you go. And our little team spirit cheerleader, Jerry, gets the award for being a cheerleader.
Giving spirit, she's drinking spirit.
I told her when she told me she'd do this, she didn't have to do the splits and no cartwheels. Giggles. She gets the Giggles Award. And I don't know if I've got a picture for oh, I got a picture for you, all right, but I haven't got it right now. It's for your brother Bill when they dressed up and went to, they were in the Boy Scouts or something.
Yeah, they were.
Okay, I've got them, but I don't have them out on the table. Remind me to either give them to you or mail them to you. Who gets a certificate of love of all the couples here? You got it! Certificate of love presented to Deanne and Charlie for being the greatest couple from the class of 56, July 31st, 2021. They're the only ones in our class that married each other, so give them a hand. All right, let's see. Oh. Anybody want to guess what Jack's getting an award for?
Showing up.
Yes, he did show up. We had what was known as the two Jacks, Jack Kent and Jack Irwin. But Jack Kent was the funniest character award. So he's getting a character award from the class of 1956. Coolest Guy Award. Who's getting the Coolest Guy Award? Well, maybe the guys don't know who it is, but I'm sure if I asked the girls, there'd be quite a group that would say yes. The Coolest Guy Award is presented to George Segler. Whoa, give George a hand. George was the guy that looked like a model. He was always dressed to the T's and he came down the hall like, nonchalantly, I'm here. He wasn't looking at the girls, he was just walking down the hall. Oh, yeah. Civic Responsibility Award. Who gets a Civic Responsibility Award? Any guesses?
J.L. Smith.
No, we got a better one for JL. Monty Lestapad. Monty had, I believe we counted up, was it 37 years? That he was either on planning commissions, the Wayland Downtown Development Authority, what were some of the other ones?
I'd like to put it 46 years.
Okay, I miscalculated, 46 years. Layton Township.
How you like how he fixes these for the streets?
Yes.
I fixed West Superior.
There's,
There's a hole down right in. Thank you.
Okay, Monty, let's just lay us now. We got little rabbit ears from the first
we have a lady here that went above and beyond the call of duty. I thought she was just taking trips there. I didn't realize what her purpose was, but she was in Russia and Siberia a lot. So Jerry Selkert was going there and visiting orphanages and stuff. And on one of her trips, she happened to meet a 7-year-old girl with a severe cleft palate and all kinds of facial deformities. And it took her 2 years with the Russian and U.S. embassies to get her brought to the United States, where a surgeon pro bono did, I think it was 7 surgeries over a period of 2+ years, and Jerry and her husband housed this young lady. So we decided that she should have a humanitarian award because that was way above and beyond the call of duty. So, and Jerry, the picture we have of you, Ralph Leninga, actually has a little bit of an empire. I mean, I don't know how many Leningas live on, what is that street on the west side of your properties? 14th Street. Bounded by, well, it goes beyond 14th Street, but going up 14th Street from 142nd to 144 is Leninga. So we are giving him the J.R. Ewing Award. Jim Hepp is getting an Innovative Artistic Design Award. He worked at Steelcase for, I'm not sure about the number of years, but I'm 30. And while he was there, he designed a chair, an ergonomic chair, and has his name on the patent. And not only that, when he retired, he had a business where he had other companies that he was doing design and stuff for. I never saw him in art class. I never saw him with a pencil in hand. But that was really remarkable when I found out that he had accomplished this. So that's his award.
He made stuff in the South that Steelcase bought from him.
Yes, yes. He people have no idea how much he did and how much money Steelcase generated off his designs and his knowledge. I remember Andrew Sigler always had a pencil in his hand, and he was always drawing cars. Cars with fins and bumpers, and didn't have spoilers yet, but I don't know if there was running boards, but if he didn't have a pencil in his hand drawing cars, why, it was very unusual. Anyway, Andrew ended up about 40 years in the automobile-related industry of one kind or another. And so Andrew, I didn't have the money to go get an automotive magazine, but I got a coloring book and also a little Matchbox car. And if you have a grandson or a great-grandson, maybe you can put them on the I Want to Be Like Grandpa. This is the Best Coach Award, hereby conferred upon Harry Hudson with appreciation from the class of 56 in recognition of outstanding leadership, unlimited patience, and incredible team spirit. During his years of coaching, which were in many different areas, he got a Coach of the Year award. He inspired a son and a grandson to make the achievement of being coaches also. His granddaughter just accepted a coaching position at Central Michigan University following a second division professional national basketball experience on the West Coast. 3 generations and still growing, all because of Harry. Judy Becker needs our prayers. Vern and her came home from the Upper Peninsula, and she was ill, and he tried to get her out of the truck, and her, hold on. Yeah, her body functions were shutting down. It took him a while to get an ambulance there, and she is up, but they had a meeting with a grandson, I think that's in the military, and so she wanted to be here in the worst way. So we'll be able to see that they get a YouTube and can see everybody. So, and I assure you that she does need our prayers. We're all right at that point where our names are going to be called. So, and the other thing I wanted to mention is Bob Nacken. Bob Nacken stood up and did his acceptance of Christ, confirmation of his faith. I just finished 3 months of extensive cardiac rehab, and 3 times a week at 6 a.m. I hit the road, and I've been able to discard my walker and don't have to use my cane, and it's really given me a new lease for energy, and so I'm blessed. J.L. Smith. You gotta come up here, J.L. Smith. J.L. Smith, what would we do without J.L.? No. J.L. is the man that is responsible for having had all these pictures over the years and identifying the people, sent birthday cards to some of our class members on their birthdays, and we have been so blessed because we wouldn't have the legacy or the history that we have if it wasn't for J.L. So thereby, I'm giving him the Mr. Rogers of the Wayland Neighborhood Award.
This is the Hardest Worker Award for Marcia Gardner Phelps. I have never seen anyone work as hard as this girl. I mean, she was at my house, she's calling people are calling her.
They were calling me names.
You are amazing, I mean it, you are very amazing.
Is there anybody that wants to share a memory of high school?
Yeah, I owe you $6.
Well, that's beside the point. It's only money. Charlie.
She bought my lunch. I didn't have no money to pay for it.
This young lady right here and I, in 2 weeks, are going to celebrate our 61st wedding anniversary. I want to tell you that this guy has been my best man for 61 years also.
You need to have your picture taken together today.
Ohio. Where's our Buckeye girl? There she is. Janet. And I thought she was on the golf course, but she is into pickleball. So, is there anything you want to say, Janet, as far as your class?
I just enjoyed being in this class. I really enjoyed it.
Ernie and I were married, what, 2 or 3 times as mom and dad in class plays? Sorry, Barb, I had him first. Didn't count for nothing. All right, well, with that, I want to thank all of you for coming. And if we don't see you here, hopefully we'll see you hereafter. And we can all be in the same neighborhood. I don't know how God works it up there, but we've been blessed. Thank you for coming. And have a blessed life all the rest of your days.
Special thank you to Marcia and Elaine for all the work they've done and the wonderful